What it is, y'all? It's your old boy Pilg, and I'm coming back, as you guys probably expected if you saw the spoiler review, with Omnitoast, good friend of the channel. Want to give yourself a second introduction? I know we just did this, but
I know, right?
It's been 24 hours for them,
guys. Yeah, it has been. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Omnitoast. Welcome back to spoiler time.
Actually, they also saw you yesterday too with Pokemon. This guy's on the channel all the time.
Yeah, I'm slowly taking it over. He has more. He has more followers.
You want the channel?
I gotta steal his followers. I need to hit 10K.
So do I. What's your point?
With my beautiful face, it would get there.
Legit. So modest too. So, if you guys wouldn't take the time here in just a moment. After the video, hit the link in the description down below. Go give Omnitoast a follow, guys. He's a huge friend of the channel, been a big supporter. God, it's been going for years now. All the way back to MomoCon, what, 5 years ago?
5 years ago when we hosted the Dokkan Battle.
That was awesome, though.
And freaking Vic pulling an LR.
That's just Vic. Vic's rude. All right. So today we are here to talk to you guys about Dragonball Super here. Now, yesterday we dropped the spoiler review, but today we are going to be talking spoilers. And boy, do we have some spoilers to discuss.
Boy.
If you have not seen the film, make sure you pause right now, close down the video, go check out the non-spoiler review, then go see the movie in theaters, because that's the way you got to see it. Whatever, you're mocking me.
No, I'm doing.
The sad part is, the funny part is, we've done so many collabs. He knows, like, I always talk with my hands, and so he's like, he can't even see me right now. He's just, I can see him, but he can't see me, and he's mimicking me the whole time. See, it's me. So rude.
No. If I want to be mimicking you, this would be me. This would be you.
No, that's me. Listen, that's the podcast. There was a lot of rum in my veins. Let's get to the spoilers, shall we? So rude. All right. So let's kick this off with something you brought up. Feeling old. They kicked this movie off immediately. And they're like, so by the way, some of you aren't old enough to remember the Red Ribbon Army. But if you are, make sure your walker's set to park.
I was like, I sat there and me and Courtney both started laughing. And I'm just like, this movie just fucking called me old.
It really did.
I paid money and this movie just said I'm old.
But here's the thing. As we said in the non-spoiler review, all that stuff is pretty much like, you've got to know. You absolutely have to know. Because, let's face it, most of this movie relies more on your knowledge of Dragon Ball than Z. Though, actually, there's enough throwbacks to Z, too.
It had a few throwbacks to Z.
Yeah. So, and we'll get to quite a few of those here in a moment.
They started off pretty slow, just explaining, the Red Ribbon Army, Dr. Gero.
That's right.
Confirming that he was married to Android 21.
Well, technically not married to Android 21. He was, what was her name? Vami or whatever?
Yeah, Vami.
Yeah. And I guess she eventually she technically was kind of like selling away. She was like a biological android. But yeah, she's now canon. That is Jero's wife.
Yeah,
Jero was knocking boots basically with the prototype for Android 21, which, man, how the fuck? Of course, everyone thinks Jero is being like this old fucker. And remember, like, we don't know what he looked like, 30 years ago.
I don't think, he never showed up in the original.
And they don't even show like a picture. They show like the picture of Jero when he's old as shit. And then the picture of like Vami when she's looks like Android 21.
Yeah.
And then
but yeah, they started off with all that.
I'm trying to remember the name of the son, the one that's the prototype for 16.
Oh,
what was his name? They even give you his name.
It was on there, yeah.
Yeah.
I was more staring at Android 21.
Listen, you're about to be a married man. Well, the best part is he's wearing a waifu shirt. See, we're both wearing waifu shirts.
The best part is the fiance picked this one. That's how you know you found the perfect one, guys, right there.
That's an enabler, sir. That is an enabler. No. Yeah. So at some point, Jero was knocking boots with Vami. No, we knew that. And I can't remember the son's name, but the one that was the prototype for Android 16. But somehow he had a kid. And they even just like gloss the fuck over that in the movie. They're just like, yeah, by the way, he had a kid, and he was adopted by these other people. Yeah, they're all dead. So, okay, that's a fucking
Great.
thing.
That's story. That's lore that we're just skimming over right here, right now.
What's the one thing I love about this is whenever there's like a hole in the story, they literally make a joke of the whole fucking thing. There's a couple times in the movie where they're like, "Yeah, so that happened. Moving on." It's like, okay, at least you all understand there's a problem with this.
Yeah,
go ahead.
They talk about that for a little bit. We learn we get a little bit of backstory about Dr. Hito.
Yeah, who's in jail?
Who's in jail because
he reanimated a couple of corpses, and then instead of having them knock over a convenience store, he has them work at a convenience store. World building in this movie was just great, so man. And I'll say this, I was not sold on the idea of the Ribbon Army coming back. I was like, this is going to be cheesy. Why do they always have to do this? Oh my God. And I was like you said, 10 minutes of the movie, and I was just like, okay, this is happening, and I'm happy about it, and I'm not mad at all. Well, no. Okay, I'm mad they called me old.
The best part about the entire world building is the fact that the Ribbon Army is we thought them to be gone, but they are hidden in Red Ribbon Pharmaceutical.
They're a pharmaceutical company. And the best part is they have the whole hollowed out volcano fortress thing going on, but it's got like a shield over the top of it, so it looks just like a crater lake. But literally inside it's just this giant fucking hollowed out volcano fortress, pretty much. It's like, could you get any more James Bond? Come on, damn it!
Just I love it. Red Ribbon Pharmaceutical, the true evils. They don't need to take over the world. They're fine.
Exactly. To take over the world? Nothing. Well, that was the whole point. Magenta didn't want to take over the world. He just wanted everyone to be happy, right? That's what he said. He wouldn't lie.
No, that was the ruse they did to get Dr. Hito to join them.
Yes, I love it. So Dr. Hito's straight up I don't want to do evil things. I want to do good things. Motherfucker, you just got out of prison. What are you talking about?
And he's just and they're like, yeah, well, the Ribbon Army, we're good. We're trying to stop alien invasions. And they show a video of Trunks killing Frieza.
I know, right? But think about it. In his eyes, it makes sense. They're shooting laser beams at each other. Holy shit, that one's got a tail. Yeah, those are aliens.
I mean,
those are aliens. That guy looks nope, he shot a laser. Yeah, his hair is glowing. Nope, those are aliens. I think the one thing we glossed over here, and I think was one of my favorite parts of the whole moment, is when he's leaving prison and then just fucking punts a goddamn grenade back in the building.
No, I think they were throwing stuff at him, telling him never come back, and he just opens up his suitcase, throws the nade in there, and walks away.
just walks away from the explosion.
It was just so great because the first 15 minutes, we got the little backstory for those who aren't old enough apparently. And, and then we got just this car ride scene where they're just trying to recruit him, saying that they're good, that Bulma might be an alien.
Yeah, they straight up speculate that well, I mean, her husband's an alien. And where did they get the technology? Who knows? And that's a valid point. Capsule Corp really, they never explain where the technology comes from. Even at Dragon Ball, they're just poof. You're okay, I mean, that's normal. Yeah, that's not normal, but it's normal in their world.
It is. But then we finally get to this, scene where they're okay, well, here's our fortress. We're gonna go do our evil planning and start building some robots. And robots. And then we get the first look at our heroes, and we see Pan being trained by Piccolo.
This scene was adorable. Also, I don't know if you noticed. The Dr. Slump, I say call out, but Dr. Slump throwback when Pan was running. She runs with her arms out to the side like a Raleigh. I was like, done.
Oh, no. When I saw that, I'm just like, that's
adorable. Brilliant. Pan is adorable, man.
But the thing that I liked about that entire scene is the weird sense of pride Piccolo has in her. No, but that whole scene was cute. Apparently, this is the thing that got me. Like, I guess it makes sense though that Pan natively can't fly, even though in Super we've seen her fly.
Yeah, she didn't? No,
She was a baby.
That's right.
And
We
she
saw her fly when
flew.
she was a baby.
But now that she's
Shit, I didn't even think about that
2
plot
years
hole.
older. By the way, she's 3 in this movie.
And
Oh,
adorable.
sorry, three and a half.
3.5.
She made that very clear near the end of the movie.
Yes.
She's 3.5.
3.5.
But apparently she can't fly.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that because they had that random filler episode where she's just like going nuts and basically flies into space,
causing all the chaos.
Yeah.
But it makes sense though, because as a baby, that's the most carefree a person usually is. So and they talk about how if she's calm and at will, she'll be able to fly, and her spirit will do the
stressed
rest.
out and
Yeah.
put on the spot. Of course, that's also a hint as to like the Gohan's power. Gohan's power always comes out when he's stressed out and put on the spot. So yeah, she it's a spoiler review. The end of the movie, she flies. Yay! It's
she
a
flies.
touching moment.
Ooh. It's
She
amazing.
fucking glomps Piccolo.
She does.
It was adorable. That whole scene was beautiful. I love the way too. I love how Piccolo picks up his phone too. It's like fucking L.
Yeah, he just holds his phone.
Yeah.
Well, it
It's
makes
like,
sense.
For people that watch Death Note,
mentioned-
it's 100% like L. It was L.
Yeah. But it also makes sense for Piccolo because his ears are extra sensitive. So putting that to his, up to his ear would be a nightmare.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it was. That is true. He does have super sensitive. And a plushie collection, apparently.
And a plushie collection. By
Though-
the way, Piccolo's house, amazing. I love his house.
I love the fact
he has
that-
a place to live.
Well, no, because that's his old place from Dragon Ball. Because you notice he's got the fucking
The
the throne, the Demon King Piccolo throne. I was like, this is awesome. He kept it.
It was really nice, a really sweet, little
It was
part
sweet.
of it.
He had a throne.
And then, no, my thing was when he kicked Pan into the fucking rock. Pan just gets up
Yeah, I'm good. No big deal.
Oh, by the way, this training session was taking place before she had to go to preschool that day.
Yeah, she gets up in the morning, trains with Piccolo, and then goes to preschool. How every child in that room isn't completely deceased right now is just no short miracle. Because he kicked her into a frickin' boulder. And she
She just gets up.
the boulder crumples around this 3-year-old, and she just gets up like, I'm good.
Okay. Whatever.
Those are Goku's genes right there, if I've ever seen them.
But then after that, what do we got? After that, we got we didn't get the first major fight just.
Well, we kind of went into that because she goes to school, and there's this whole thing. Videl needs Piccolo to go pick her up from school.
Oh yeah, that's right. Mhm.
Yeah.
And then we get Gamma 2, I think was the one.
Gamma
that
2.
attacked.
Gamma 2 was the first Gamma we meet. I
do.
love Gamma 2, man. Gamma 2 is a goofball. He is hilarious.
He is definitely the goofier one of the two.
Yeah. Well, Gamma 1's like all business. Gamma 2 is just all heart. And I think their dichotomy is phenomenal.
Oh, dude, it's great. I kind of wish we got more of them.
Here's the one thing I don't know if you noticed. Well, I mean, it was obvious, but I don't know if it was super obvious. Because they make a big deal about how everyone's able to shoot like lasers out of their fingers and stuff like that, and it's fucking weird, right? Like even androids 17 and 18 were able to do it, and 20 or say Giro and 19 were able to do it, and they make a big deal about how weird that is. So instead of them being able to do that, the Gammas have those little guns.
They have little blasters.
But I thought they were awesome. I was like, that's a really subtle touch to this whole like, if you shoot lasers from your fingers, you're an alien
You're
and
an
henceforth
alien.
evil. So these guys are superheroes and they've got the fucking guns. And I was like, that's
No,
a subtle touch. Yeah.
Very subtle but genius touch.
Yes. Because I mean, otherwise it would have just been weird and hypocritical.
Dude,
But-
that first fight though was our first time seeing a true like full on fight with the CGI that we talked about.
Yeah, Piccolo got absolutely destroyed in that fight.
I just like it. He steps away. Why can't I see his?
Oh
Why can
yeah,
I
well,
see the
why
noises
can I
his
see
punches
his
make?
his sound effects? Literally, we watched the dub version. I haven't watched the sub version yet. I'm going back to the theater 100% to watch the sub version. But he's just straight up like, why did I mean, we didn't review the dub in the last unspoiler review. We'll review it on this one. He's like, why can't I see their sound effects? And it's actually revealed later on that it's like a hologram that appears around him. I'm like, that is the most like crazed, like evil genius thing. Like, this dude's read too many comic books and I love him for it and I want this in real life.
No, it was just hilarious, and that's like the start of how like just the humor was starting to feel already. It was just like,
Well, even in the
little
fight,
silly moments like that. It was just like,
and it never took you out of it either. Like, when the action was on, the action was on, and you'd have those funny moments where he's like punching him, kicking him, but it never took you out of the fight. Somehow it was able to keep pace, and it just felt right, but also hilarious.
yeah.
Yeah, the only fight I think in the movie that was 100% like full on was the actual last fight. I think every other fight still had an element of humor and had, those moments, but they never felt unnatural. It never took you out of it.
Exactly.
I just thought about that. You just made me think about that. So Piccolo is basically defeated, more or less, but he escapes. Like, basically because Gamma's not able to detect ki or any of that kind of stuff the same way like 17, 18 and all them could. Because, once again, they've got some of the technology, but it's made very apparent they don't have all of it from Jiro. So Piccolo escapes. And, Gamma 2's like, I killed him. I'm the best. And then goes back. And that's Piccolo follows him back.
Straight up like, I got him.
Yeah. He doesn't even think about it. Doesn't look for a corpse. Doesn't second guess it. He's like, I'm the best. I'm the fuck out. And then goes back to the Red Ribbon Army and like Piccolo tails him. But obviously, there's not much we can do. That's how we get those shots we see, promo shots of Piccolo in the Red Ribbon Army outfit. Straight up walks into a meeting where like Magenta and Dr. Hito are like going over their entire plan. And Piccolo's there the whole time like, that's one of my favorite parts too, is where he's just like, so that's why that's happening. And the dude next to him is just like, this motherfucker monologuing? They did not waste any time. They were like, yep, Cellmax is a thing. And Magenta's like, let's activate him now. And even Dr. Hito's like, that's a bad idea for a multitude of reasons.
Very dumb idea.
Yeah, let's not and say we did. The Gammas just wrecked Piccolo. Piccolo's dead. And Gamma 1's like, let's review that footage. You mean that green speck right there coming out of the explosion that's clearly not dead?
What do you know? He's not dead, and I caught it in 4K.
I know, right? And Gamma 2 is like, whoopsie. And the best part is Piccolo's in the back of the room the whole time, just like,
he's an idiot.
they're all dumb.
But it was just like the best part too about that was like they're showing off like Goku, Vegeta, Majin Buu, and every single one of those images have them like with these like dorky evil grins.
Yeah. Well, it's the best part. They're trying to convince Dr. Hito like all these people are evil, and like every time they show one of them, they're just like, obviously Boo's not hard to convince you're evil because he's got plenty of moments where you're like, he's the guy did a whole bunch of unsavory shit. And then, man, I don't remember the shot they got with Goku. I remember they got a shot with Goku where he's looking evil. Vegeta, once again, always wears a scowl, not hard. But the part I love about this,
like grin on him though.
Yeah, and I think the funny part about all this is they're like, and they all hang out with Mr. Satan.
And Satan's just like,
yeah. Like, what's the connection here? I don't know. But Mr. Satan's the one who claimed to beat Cell, so they're clearly all in cahoots. So they build this whole damn thing, and Hito's just like, it sounds good enough. Let's build more
Gammas. By the way,
Gammas.
still chomping down like his body weight in Oreos. After all that, Piccolo steps out, calls Bulma, tells her, hey, you should probably get Goku and Vegeta here. Just in case things go south.
Yeah, so let's just kind of cut to the chase here. Bulma's got a device she could call Whis, and this is actually a brilliant shot. We get a shot of Goku and Vegeta on Beerus's planet, and they're training, but you'll never guess who's actually with them. Frickin' Broly.
And he almost goes right into his Zikari form right then, and they're like, "Oh, whoa, 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 whoa!"
Yeah, up! You almost blew up the planet again. I'm gonna need you to chill. And Broly's just like, "Oh, sorry about that."
But we end up finally getting. They almost get us a beautiful three-man battle royale between Broly, Vegeta, and Goku.
Almost.
But then Vegeta's like, no, he can't control himself. That's a no-no.
Yeah, not a good idea. Then the interesting part about this is you actually get Lima, who's there on the planet, and then he literally just becomes Beerus's personal chef.
Proud of the man. He's really come up in the world.
And Chilai. The part about this that I think kills me the most
Chilai.
is Chilai comes out and Beerus is just like, "Sup, girl?" It's like,
Cat loves food. Yeah.
I'm like, you don't think of Beerus that way, but even Whis is like, I guess he's got a type. And then you like,
Beerus has a type. Who would have known?
And then there's fucking like it pans to a shot of Bulma on Earth, like bent over. What was she like in a refrigerator or something like that?
She was looking. No, she was looking in a drawer trying to find.
Oh, she's trying to find the device. Yeah, and it's just like, yeah, I guess Beerus has a type. Whatever. Beerus has a libido. This is canon now. Basically, the long and the short of it, this is how they keep Goku and Vegeta out of the fight. So, yes, Goku and Vegeta do not show up on Earth. They are on Beerus's planet, and no one's able to get a hold of them.
That scene and the end credits scene are the only times we see them in the movie.
Yep. And you know what? It was still a great film even without them.
Honestly, it was one of those ones I don't think the movie needed them. It really didn't need them.
They were able to take care of business without Goku and Vegeta. So it's real kind of a breath of fresh air, so to speak, because ever since Super came back, it's literally been the Goku show. And so I love this new take on it where it's like, yeah, other people get a little bit of shine here. And I like that. One of my favorite, we're going to cut forward, otherwise, once again, this is going to be as long as the movie. One of my next favorite scenes was where, because Piccolo, basically, there's this whole plan to like abduct Videl, abduct Pan, because they're like, if we abduct Pan, Gohan will come try to save her, and then if Gohan's here, then we can get Piccolo, and we can just take everybody out one at a time. And Piccolo in disguise is like, I know them.
I know where they live. I live near them.
Quick Goat thinking he's like, yeah, I've seen them around. I know the preschool, and no one in the Red Army is just like, that's sus. They're just like, yeah, let's go with it.
We'll go with it.
Yeah, we'll send him on the mission. They send him on the mission with like random dude who looks like a freaking, I don't know, Arnold Schwarzenegger type. And my favorite part about this is they get to the preschool and all the other kids are gone, and this like big buff like Austrian dude walks up and was just like, hey, Pan, your parents ain't able to pick you up. You've got to come with me. What does she do?
One shots the dude.
Wrecks his ass.
One shots the dude. His teacher's like, what did you do? She's like, I don't know this guy. Danger.
I love Pan. She is adorable. God.
And then I like how when Piccolo walks up, she's just like, oh, it's Piccolo.
Yeah.
Doesn't even see his face, just knows.
Like she senses his aura, which is actually an interesting point. Comes into play here shortly. So they get in the ship and they go to take off. And this is when you remember Piccolo doesn't know how to drive, let alone fly. He even mentions he's like, I never got my license. So they're just like, oh, the fuck over. Like, what a great callback to another filler episode. I love that.
Dang it, Piccolo.
And I love the whole plan. He's like, okay, what I need you to do is put on these little tiny handcuffs and go in the back and act scared. And he's like, but don't worry, because you could easily break those handcuffs. And she does towards the end of the movie. She's just like,
we did skip a little bit of something. I wanted to go and hit on.
Go for it. I'm trying to move along, because
He did, before the whole Pan thing, he did go to Dende to see if Dende could unlock his latent potential.
Oh, I thought that came afterwards. That's right. It did happen, because by the time I did skip over that. Thank you.
And they're just like, he's just like, no, you have to be a certain age to do it. So apparently,
like a
you could
fucking
be-
Pokemon.
Yeah, apparently you have to be a certain level. But apparently he's like, but I could modify the dragon to do it. And Piccolo's like, wait, you can do that?
Apparently.
So they do that, and Piccolo, they're like, okay, well, they modify it. They gotta go get the Dragon Balls. Who has the Dragon Balls?
Bulma.
Fucking Bulma.
Well, and they explain it. They're like, Bulma basically keeps them around because, as soon as they're reactivated, she'll go collect them all, and that way, villainous.
No one evil gets them.
Yeah, no one evil can come to the planet and get their hands on it. So Piccolo goes, gets the balls, summons
Fucking
Shenron,
Bulma.
and Shenron's like, okay, you can have 3 wishes. And he's like, well, I only want the one. Unlock my power. And Shenron's like, here you go. There's all your latent power unlocked and a little cherry on top. And he's like, okay, I'm done.
Bet.
Yep.
And then Bulma.
Bulma's like, you gonna
Bulma.
use those last 2 wishes? Nope. Fucking Bulma. What does she wish for?
A firmer butt.
And?
Longer eyelashes, I think, was the other one.
Yeah,
that she found
eyelashes
in
2
Supplemon.
millimeters longer. And fucking Shenron's like, that's easy enough. GG.
No, I just like
Enjoy your
she's
ass
like,
and
she's like,
eyes.
No, the best part was just like she's like, I wanna perk my buns.
Perk my butt. That's right. Shenron's
and
like,
after is Shenron, your buns have been perked.
it's a great. I forgot about that line. It's a great
Just like,
line.
I'm like, fucking god damn, this movie is so.
There's so many moments in this movie where you're just like, yep, that's.
This is
Yep.
Dragon
You
Ball
can't
right
take
here.
this seriously. This movie is just fantastic in that regard.
But yeah, then we have the whole kidnapping scene. We go through
yes.
everything.
Sorry, I
and,
skipped over that. Once again,
they
my
go
brain
visit-
goes to like remember shit out of order.
They did go. Then after the kidnapping scene, Pan does her little like acting, grabbing a plush, like, "Papa, help me! I'm scared."
I love when they get her back to the thing and they've got her in that big plush seat and they're filming her for Gohan and they're just like, all right, now act scared. All right, do this. And she's just like pouty, 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 like playing it up the whole time. Like she knows she's not in any kind
And
of
then
peril
sees cookies
whatsoever.
and almost gets them. Then they go visit Gohan, the same guy with Piccolo.
So
Piccolo's upset because Gohan doesn't recognize him. But
yes,
Pan
Gohan
did.
does not recognize him at all, even though Piccolo still does like the scratch down the window like he did earlier in the whole scene. Freaking Gohan's so oblivious.
Such an idiot.
But I love the scene where they show Gohan the video of Pan in the chair, and fucking Gohan flips.
Yeah, it's almost like a boop.
Yep. Like full dad mode. Goes Super Saiyan, starts charging up, and like blasts a frickin' crater in the ground.
That
The
takes
house.
his house off formation, off of its foundation.
The house just slides off its foundation down into the freaking thing. I think the best part is you pointed out to me at the end of the movie, there's a whole like when they do these slide shots of like different things that they're happening in the aftermath, and I just thought it was a shot of the house falling into the crevasse. I wasn't paying a huge amount of attention. No, it's Videl coming home to find the house having fallen in. So make sure you guys stay for the end credits because there's some good shit there. Yep. So they get Gohan. They go back to the Red Ribbon headquarters. And this is where the movie kind of picks up pace a little bit because I think this is where Gamma 1 goes to take on Gohan.
Yes.
And this was a fairly serious fight because Gohan's pissed. And Gamma 1 is the more serious of the two. Gamma 2 is playful and all this. And the movie has a little bit of a tone shift. And now it starts to get into the more serious, I guess, side of this whole thing.
We're heading into the final few conflicts.
Yep. Well, there's a interesting plot twist we'll talk about here in a moment. But that fight between Gamma 1 and Gohan was, I mean, interesting. But as the fight goes on, Gohan gets more and more and more angry. And you start to realize this guy's getting it back. Now, he didn't have it. He was not in it. Then
the Emmy goes to Pan and Piccolo acting like she's being hurt. And it's just Piccolo holding her up like this.
Yeah, he's holding her feet and holding her up like this, but he's still in the red ribbon uniform. So it looks like somebody's just like holding her up like this. And Gohan does not yet realize it's Piccolo and flips his absolute shit and goes
right into Ultimate.
Oh, dude, that transformation was phenomenal.
We get round 2. It's a little bit more even this time.
Yep.
But Gamma 1 still somewhat has the upper hand. But at this point, Piccolo finally says, okay, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm joining the fray because Gamma 1's like, okay, I might need a little bit of help here.
Yup.
And Piccolo's like, no. By the way, it's me. I was the turkey all along.
I love that. Just like, whoo, and they're just like, plot twist.
Just like, Piccolo, when did you get here?
Yeah, when did you? Because they know
like,
Piccolo. They even mentioned him earlier in the movie. So it's just like, you've been here this whole time, masterminding our fight. Oh,
just like,
this is bad.
Oblivious on the whole situation.
Yep. And so Gamma 2 joins the fray again, and Piccolo and Gamma 2 go at it. And I can't remember exactly how it happens, but Piccolo is, I mean,
he gets his butt handed to him near the end, and he's just sent flying down into the crevasse.
Yeah, he's thrown into a frickin' endless abyss. And what I think is absolutely awesome, just a great moment of this orange glow, and just
and then he has his Broly movie because it's the same like sort of
rises up. Everybody has to do that, I think, once. They just got to rise out of something.
And then proceeds to one-shot Gamma.
Yes. Absolutely annihilates him. And I think it was... yeah, even Agency's like, oh, yeah, that little extra perk just kind of put me over the edge. Thanks, Shenron. Like, you think? But I love it, too, because it actually makes a lot of sense. Because now on the back of his gi, he's got that... because it appears like almost as like a tree, and then it becomes like the circle in the Orin. I don't remember what that's a symbol for, but I thought we saw that on Namek too, way back in the series.
We might have, but it really feels like, this is like a true Namekian, like full powered Namekian warrior.
Yeah, would you call it the legendary Super Namekian?
It should have. I mean, that was what they called him when he fused with Kami. But he's just like this is Super Namekian 2.
Okay, Super Namekian 2. I was going to say
they just call it Orange Piccolo. I think he's like, I don't care about your
I was gonna call it Super Namekian God Super Namekian.
Shut up.
So yeah, but I love this form, man. This form is phenomenal, and
he gets like buffer.
He gets taller. He gets buffer.
He gets the square chin.
Like I said, and we talked about it after the film. Oh, also the antennae, like now, look, it almost looks demonic. It's a more demonic form, which once again is a callback to Dragon Ball, where they were supposed to be demons, not slug people. But the little antennae now point back, and they're static, whereas before they kind of move around a bit. Yeah, his form looks beautiful. But we were talking about it after the movie, and like it really reminds me of that the big bulky Namekian from Universe 6, when all of them went together to form those two guys. He looks like that guy a lot. So I'm wondering if that guy was a version of this form or something along those lines. Yeah. So, but I love the orange form, man. Say what you will about the orange form. I'm kind of getting tired of the palette swaps, but I love like the bulkiness. I love the jawline. I love everything about this transformation.
Yeah, and it's just he goes from the black eyes to the red eyes.
Yeah,
so,
they both have red eyes in the now. Spoilers. Well, this is spoilers. Whatever. Fuck.
By the way, either way, we're about to go into it. Then everything goes downhill. They start realizing, okay, maybe we're in the wrong side here.
I love this. It's the big plot twist moment because Gamma 1 and 2 start to realize, like, oh shit,
maybe we were being lied to.
Are we the bad guys? We're supposed to be the heroes, not the bad guys. What happened?
And then Magenta decided to say, screw this. I'm going to use my trump card now.
Yep.
And he went down and activated Cell Max.
I actually love that moment too because earlier in the film, there's a whole Dr. Hito mentions how he like basically modified his skin so his skin is not impervious but a lot more rugged. And even Magenta was like, yeah, we may not have the same level of technology, but I use some of the old like Dr. Zero technology. It basically Magenta's a cyborg, not even an android. He's like a straight up cyborg, which I thought was really cool. But in Hito's able to overcome him with a bee sting.
With the bee sting, which she said could kill anything.
Yeah, the ultimate MacGuffin, and as freaking Magenta's over there like having like I don't know an aneurysm, turning green and doing a freaking Thriller.
He activates Cell Max.
Straight up punches the console and Cell is activated, and even Hito's like just screaming like this is not good. This is bad.
We're screwed.
Yep. And Cell emerges from the cocoon and holy shit.
One thing I noticed about this Cell, it's a weird combination of perfect and second form Cell.
It's a lot more like second form Cell in the face. He's perfect Cell in most of his
body minus the tail.
The tail is a whole other thing. The tail's
completely new.
Yeah, it's where the old Cell had this little suction cup thing that he could then absorb the.
He has a little wrecking ball.
He really does. A wrecking ball that shoots lasers, sir.
Yeah.
That is like if you were not going to knock down a building, this is the wrecking ball you'd want to use to level the rest of the town along with it.
Yeah.
It is insane, and he is massive, absolutely massive. What, 30 feet tall, something like that?
Give or take, it like he literally rivals because there was a point where Piccolo does do his big and
his giant form. It's yeah. Well, I mean, Slug did it in the Slug movie.
Yeah.
Piccolo did it in Dragon Ball. And I love that moment where he's like Gohan's like, why don't you just get big like you did? Or I think it was Krillin. Why don't you just get big like you did during the the fight with Goku? And he's like, oh yeah, I forgot I could do that. Yeah. Dude, I love that because it's like straight up felt like TFS, like T4 Star when they did that one with like the stretchy arms in the Cooler movie. He's like, oh, I forgot I could do that. It's like, thank you, Dragon Ball for knowing like being aware of your own.
Forgot about something.
Yeah, so Piccolo's now in his orange form and gets freaking huge, and literally. It's like a kaiju fight now. The two are just having a slobber knocker. And they're beating the dog shit out of each other. Except Cell's not taking damage.
Yeah, and then mind you, Gohan, he's telling Gohan to charge up, wait till charge at the time.
Because Gohan was then charging up a final blow. Because
Goten and Trunks are there, fusing, failing.
Gohan's like, okay, well, now that you're big, you can just knock him out, right? And Piccolo's like, yeah, I'm big. That doesn't mean I'm stronger. I'm basically bluffing. Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
At least you're honest.
Yeah, pretty much. And the whole time, literally, it's Gohan's over there. Da 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 da.
We did skip over one amazing scene though. We do
Which one's that?
Unfortunately lose Gamma 2.
Yeah, so Gamma 2 was very...
He's like, I want to be a hero.
Yeah, well, and the whole thing was they were like, okay, Cell has a weak spot. It's basically the top of his head. Dr. Hito built in a failsafe. Yeah, and he has to the top of the dome of his head can be damaged relatively easily. Mm-hmm. Emphasis on relatively. And Gamma 2 shoots up in the air and basically charges like as much as he can and then just dive bombs Cell's ass. And he does some damage too. He knocks off an arm. Half of Cell Max is charred. He does a number, but Cell is not defeated.
But yeah, then going back to the fight, you got Piccolo going big. He's getting, it looks like a match of Rock'em Sock'em robots going on for a little bit until Cell just overpowers him. Straight up.
Yep.
And then we get to the thing we all knew was coming.
Gohan's transformation.
The Gohan Beast, I think is what they're calling
Yeah, Beast it. Gohan or whatever. I'm not a big fan of the transformation, but I gotta say, and we talked about this a little bit, I love how he looks in that first scene because it looks like Teen Gohan the first. I know that's what it's designed to do, but it looks like the first time he went Super Saiyan 2. Like the outline of him, hair and all that is almost identical.
Oh yeah.
I appreciated that
a
callback.
little bit over the top. Yes.
Oh, it's a huge amount over the top. I mean, it's Ultra
But,
Instinct with red eyes.
But it was just so great. Like he's in this new transformation. Cell looks at him and is like, okay, time to do something about this one.
Yeah.
He goes in and punches like this giant fist just hits Gohan. He just sits there like
Brushes it off.
Shut up.
Mind you, these are the punches that frickin' were rocking a giant Piccolo with his brand new transformation. And you got the whole visual of like his jaw distending and getting absolutely knocked. And Gohan is just like, get out of here with that.
there. He literally just stands there. He's like, "Is that all you got?"
Yeah.
All right, and then just pushes it away.
If I had one criticism, I think that's my big criticism. So I wanted more out of this fight. I really would love to have had like a slobber knocker where you have Beast Gohan. I mean, if he's going to be called Beast, he should be acting Beast style. He should be primal. And he should be like literally climbing all over Cell Max and just punching and kicking him. And it should be like Cell Max getting beaten up by a cockroach. Like, oh, Jesus! Oh, fuck! Oh, no! Like, that's what I really wanted to see. But instead, I will say, this moment is phenomenal. He unleashes one attack and one attack alone. What was that attack?
He actually does the special beam cannon. Where, like, we've gotten Dragon Ball Z movies where we've seen the Spirit Bomb or it ends in a Kamehameha. No, this guy's like, you know what? We're going to do something different today.
And I appreciated that because it's a huge callback to Piccolo. Like, Piccolo's the one, like, basically, holding Cell Max off. And it felt like a really special moment. And to see Gohan do it for the first time was awesome. Even Piccolo's like, was that what I think it was? And Gohan's just like,
yeah,
I've been practicing
in secret.
Yeah. So
it was just like, you jerk, stop trying to make me like you again. I'm still mad that you didn't know it was me in the costume, you idiot.
All in all, really enjoyable final fight. I would have liked more out of Beast Gohan, but the whole thing was just a great way to send off the movie.
Yeah, and that's why I sort of like still rank, like from the last video we did, and we talked about rankings of the movies and all that stuff, and I was just like, that's why I still like Broly a little bit more, because we got 30 minutes of Gogeta.
Yeah. Well, we've been at this almost an hour. You've got stuff to do. I've got stuff to do. So let's wrap this up. Final thoughts.
Big red bow.
Amazing movie. Definitely recommend go seeing it. By the way, the end credit scene is fucking hilarious.
It is. We touched on it a little bit. But
Vegeta
yeah,
wins.
Stay for the... Oh, man, I wasn't even going to spoil that one. I was going to let people... I was going to say...
No.
Vegeta
wins,
beats
and Broly cries.
Goku. And everybody cries. Everybody, but Beerus, cries.
Now I do wonder,
'Cause he's
because
asleep.
there was one thing I want to hit on this really quickly.
Go for it.
He says he wins, but Goku's lying on there, and the way Goku like chuckles and looks at Vegeta, I'm just like, Goku, let him win. That bastard let him win so he could feel good about himself.
Remember when Goku was holding back Super Saiyan 3?
Uh-huh.
We specifically said no transformations or anything like that.
So that means Goku, like Vegeta might be, I mean, they're pretty, let's be fair. In base form, they're even.
Does Vegeta have Ultra Ego in this fight?
Ultra Ego's the transformation, so.
Yeah. But I'm saying, does Vegeta have Ultra Ego?
Probably. It depends on where this takes place. If this is...
Because it's a huge time skip from the
after
series.
Moro,
So I would argue he would have to at this point.
yeah, I mean, if it's 4 months after Broly, Moro and Granola could have happened by this point. It's very hard to tell. They'll state it in the manga. I mean, the manga did mention the Broly movie and then just skipped. They said, by the way, this happened. Now we're moving on.
So if it's a time skip from Broly, then I would argue that Vegeta has Ultra Ego.
And that would give him a little bit more durability natively.
Yeah. But maybe Goku knows something. Maybe he's got something hidden up his sleeve.
Yeah. But either way, it was a phenomenal little like thing. And Broly and Lemo are just sitting there crying like, it's finally over.
Yep. It was, man, that was such a great moment. That was the one thing I wasn't going to spoil. I was going to be like, you got to stay for the end credits. It's like that Marvel movie thing. You got to stay all the way through the end. But it was such a good moment, man. I don't give a fuck.
Such a good moment.
Vegeta won.
He finally got his win against Goku.
Yeah. And the look of
handicap
satisfaction
match,
on his face. All right, we are right at the hour mark, my dude. I'm going to call it there. Yep. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This is a really, really long one, but Omni, I appreciate having you on. I know you got to get back to editing, got stuff to do. Thank you so much, my dude. Thank you all.
I appreciate it
so much for tuning in. We will catch you all, man, sometime here soon. Well, Pokemon. We always got Pokemon coming up.
Always got Pokemon.
Omni, have yourself a great night. Those of you watching out there, thank you. Have yourselves a wonderful whatever the heck time of day it is. And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace out, guys.